we are going to hear from her ideas regarding visible learning. So, Ambika ma'am, shall we start?
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Ambika ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Related models.
So yours, right?
Charts.
Srikanth sir, please mute.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, madam.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
I'm very happy to
Good afternoon,
interact
ma'am.
with you. I would like to share some of the thoughts that I have acquired. So I feel very happy to share with you. And at last, I would like to hear from you all so that both of us can acquire something and grow together. With that intention, I will start my webinar. Before going into the webinar, in this we have two modes. One is through Zoom and another is through YouTube link. That's what first I thought of conducting the Energizer with you. But now I will perform some actions. I expect some answers for the same. After the action, I will ask some questions and same to be answered by you. If you are joining through Zoom, you can ask directly the oral mode. Otherwise, you can use comment box also. Shall we start?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
See, now I would like to write something. I am writing something here. Can you hear? Can anybody read? Can anybody read this?
No.
Okay, I'll try with my left hand. Can you read this?
No.
O लिखा है मैम. O.
M. It was started.
O लिखा है शायद.
M.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
It was like
O.
M. It was starting with the M.
Now I will try with the both my hands.
Fast हो रहा है ना.
No.
MB.
MB.
No,
MB.
Yes, MB. Yes.
MB.
no.
Yes, MB. No.
Okay, even I don't know what.
That figure must be superimposable. How can we see that what types of writing you? That is the superimposable image.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All of
Exactly.
Yes.
I wanted to know that only from you. See, if we write, see, when I write with my right hand in the air, you are reading. At the same time, when I that time also, most of us are not able to read. Even myself, what I have written, I cannot read that. When I use both of my hands, even if we are not able to read the meaning, what I would like to connect the thing with the webinar is, see, we as a teachers, usually most of us are, if we are right-handers, that means when I write with the right hand, that means these are the things I know well. I am very used to that. So I tried with that. And sometimes I think most of us have tried in our pandemic situation.
Please mute yourself, teacher.
Yeah, please. There is a much disturbance. I request all participants to please mute their microphone. Thank you. Thank you. So when I wrote with right hand, that is actually I wanted to say that this is the usual practice. I am very much familiar with that. When I write with the left hand, that is something because of the need or the situation I acquired. Like Zoom classes at the time of the pandemic, we have learned. Then when I started writing both, the situation demanded us to blend both of them. Even if most of us are struggling to ensure whether the learning is happening or not. Am I true?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That is because
Yes,
when we write in the air, how we can't read, like that, whatever we have taught in the class, we are unable to judge whether it is understood by the students, whether learning is happening or not. We are not sure. Do you agree with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's what. If we think, if whatever we teach, if it is visible to us, then what will be the situation? We are able to make out how much our students are learning. Is it? That's what. Today, I would like to discuss something about visible learning. If our learning becomes visible, then what will be our results? What will be the teaching learning process? Are you all with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. So we'll start with I will share my screen. Just a minute, I am sharing my screen. Ragini madam, have I been given option to share the PPT?
Yes, ma'am. Can you repeat?
Am I able to share the PPT, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, you can
Yes, you
share.
can. Yes, you can. Yes, it's visible.
It's visible. It's visible. Okay. Now it is for me.
And now it's visible, Ambika madam.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Sridhar, sir. So let us see what is the agenda of this webinar. So now, just now we have done with the Energizer. Next will be the objectives of the webinar, followed by visible learning, thinking routines, visible thinking routines, and at last we will have the reflection of the same. So we will start with one by one. Let me move on to objectives. The most important objective of this webinar is to create an opportunity for students to think and make students' learning visible. That means we have to create an opportunity in such a way that we can identify the learning of the students. That is the main motto. In order to ensure this, we need to promote thinking in the classroom. Classroom means it is applicable for both the teachers as well as students. That is the second objective. Then, last but not the least, to develop thinking routines. In order to ensure visible learning, thinking is must. So for that, thinking should become routine. So we have to develop the habit of thinking. So these are the three objectives of this webinar. So question arises. Now I am talking about visible learning. But let us know what is this learning actually. Then we will move on to visible learning. Can anybody tell me what do you mean by learning?
Gaining something.
Gaining something, exactly.
Anything which is
Sorry.
hypothesized and learned.
New things which we don't know, madam.
Voice is not audible.
New knowledge.
Okay.
Gaining some new
Anybody
knowledge.
else? Yes, yes. So we will see learning is a consequence of thinking. That means if learning has to happen, there should be thinking. For example, while moving, we will see something and just pass away. Can we remember that? No. If I observe, if I think about that, then oh, I can make out that. So any learning is possible only it is the outcome of thinking.
Sir, after this, how you are checking the
So,
details, sir?
madam, it is disturbing. Can anybody? Okay. So,
Mute yourself.
Margaret Mead says, children must be taught how to think, not what to think. Meaning is, we are making our children to think, but how? That is our job. But what they have to think, automatically they will learn. As a teachers, we have to make our students things in such a way that they should think how to think about a particular subject or particular object or particular video if they observe, how to think about that. So when we make the thinking visible, what is the use for children? By making thinking visible, students are let into the secret of learning by seeing teachers and peers explaining their thinking and reasoning. That means when learning becomes visible, if somebody is learning along with me, my teacher is learning that I could see, then that makes the children get motivated to learn. So we have to make the thinking and learning should be visible. We'll move on to the next question is, what are the thinking routines? I said that thinking should become habit. It should become routine. Then what are these habits of thinking or thinking routines? So thinking routines are none other than what all we do in the classroom. They are already existing in the classrooms. They are the patterns by which teachers and students operate and go about the job of learning and working together in classroom environment. That means it is a give and take policy. That means I am observing somebody is doing something. At the same time, I have been observed by somebody else. Through that, we learn each other. When I observe somebody's work, I'll think, oh, what is she doing? What will be happening after this? So if this is happening, that means if we are observing each other in the classroom, then it becomes habit of thinking. So when the thinking becomes visible, as I said, thinking becomes visible, students will get who is doing what, and if they are doing something, if they are understanding what they are doing, then automatically it motivates the students. So when thinking is visible, participants are aware of their own thoughts and thought process as well as those of individuals with whom they are working. With whom they are working means again it is teachers and their peers. With visible learning, there is heightened level of awareness both individually and collectively, leading to greater engagement. Because if somebody is observing me, automatically I will become aware. Oh, what I'm doing is being observed by somebody, so I will become aware, and vice versa. So engagement becomes possible with the students. That is classroom management. When thinking becomes visible. So you must be thinking, oh, it is easy to say that thinking should be visible, learning should be visible. I request the teachers to mute, please. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, yes,
There
yes.
is a disturbance.
You're
I
audible.
request all to mute your microphones, please.
Padindra sir, please mute your microphone, sir.
Okay. So after talking all this visible learning, the thinking routines and all, we must be getting some questions. How do I make my own thinking visible? Because being a teacher, first I should understand what is this thinking routine, how can I make my thinking visible, then only I can implement this with the students. So secondly, how do I make my students thinking visible will be the next question. Then how do I give thinking time in my classroom? This is a big question every one of us having. Am I right? Am I right? You can now open the
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, madam. Yes, ma'am.
yes, because being a teacher, always we will be thinking to complete our syllabus, exam portion, question paper preparation, all these we have. But is it possible when we should do this? This might be the question from everybody's side. Yes, we can do this because visible thinking or thinking routines, as I am telling, this is a routine. It's not a one day I will do or some fixed days we will do. It's not like that. It is part of our teaching. It happens hand in hand. There is no separate strategy for these visible thinking routines to be followed. So that we will learn further. The next question may be, how can I make thinking a culture or a habit? So for that question, how can I make our thinking visible? We have here some of the strategies. If we use these strategies, these are called visible thinking strategies. So some of them I will read out. Step inside, red light, yellow light. Just a minute. So if I take red light, step inside, we have see, think, wonder, zoom in, claim, support, question, think, puzzle, explore. If I take some of the things from down, so here we have chalk talk method, compass point, connect, extend, challenge. These are some of the visible thinking routines. These can be implemented in the classroom so that we can ensure visible thinking in the classroom. So we will see some of these strategies, because as we have time constraint, I don't think we can get into all this. So I will discuss with you few of the strategies. One among them is see, think, wonder. Shortly, it is called STW. This is visible thinking routine wherein some object or picture or video or something is shown to students. Then students will be asked 3 questions. What do they notice? What do they think and why? Then what are their observation over this and what they wonder about the object? More clearly, we can see this is a simple, fast and effective strategy to implement in all the classes, all subjects, even it may be language or it may be subject. We can start this as a induction or at the closure time or while explaining the topic. For example, if I show brain, just I will not explain anything about brain. Then just I will ask the children, if they see this, what is their observation? Just first we can read, what do you see? If we ask them, what students will do? Students make observations and write down what they see. This is a great way for them, and they will practice different vocabulary. They will try to write something about that picture. So they can improve their vocabulary. They can start observing carefully. Observing skill also will be developed. So then followed by that, if we ask, okay, just you have seen this, what do you think about this? What is going on in your mind after observing this picture? Then if we ask this question, students jot down their thoughts about the picture if we have shown, or any video they have seen. Okay, then they may think, if some machine, if it is shown, how does it work? What is the use of that? What do we know about it already? So they may get a think so many things in their mind if we provoke them to think. Then at last, it's a higher order of thinking, that is, what do you wonder? Then students ask questions they are wondering about the topic and photograph. This is a great way to make the students to involve themselves and to enhance their curiosity or critical thinking, analytical thinking. So we will go with some example.
Ambika madam, sorry for the interruption. The recording is off actually.
Okay, Ragini madam.
It is not required. It will be forever on YouTube.
Okay,
So
sir.
doesn't matter.
Okay. So can you see the picture?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Yes. By seeing this picture, what do you think? Already you have seen picture. If I ask what you see, can anybody tell me what you see here?
We can see green colored balls.
Green color balls, exactly. Yes.
Balls and blue colored balls arranged in a pattern.
Yes, green color balls, blue color balls, they have been arranged in some pattern, exactly. Then what else?
कैरी और जामुन है, साइज भी सेम है.
Sorry.
कैरी और जामुन है, साइज भी सेम है. कैरी के आकार के बड़े ग्रीन और जामुन के आकार के छोटे.
Oh, great. Cherry and jamun, but colorful jamun and cherry. Yeah.
Sujata madam ko jamun बहुत पसंद है.
Maybe. See, color, that means, see how thinking is going on. Even jamun can be in green color. Okay, cherry can be in a purple or blue color. Okay, what else you can see? Others?
Okay.
Others?
Ma'am, they arrange in the pattern, ma'am. They are following in the pattern.
Okay, there is some pattern. Okay, arrangement is following some pattern. Okay. Then what do you think? This is what we are observing. What are you thinking?
Two colored balloons.
If we have chemistry teachers here, I'm sorry, I am basically a chemistry teacher, so I have taken the example of chemistry. So if I take this picture to class 12th, so if we give them, this is a picture, what you observe, because they have the idea of a sodium chloride crystal. So
that is sodium chloride crystal.
Yes. So by observing this
can be linked with even. This can be linked with in biology also. The cells are arranged with intercellular spaces. They have an intercellular space and they can be interlinked with this also.
Yes, sir. You are right. Yes. So that is called the integrated learning. Okay. See, just I will show you what are the possibilities. There are different possibilities because green color can be imagined as gulab jamun. So that is different, this one. But usually, if we have if we are using this for particular subject, if I give hint to children, their thinking starts in a different way. With that perspective, they start thinking. So what they may think? a student may say that, I see that sodium and chloride atoms are different in size and closely packed, or they are touching with each other. That is their observation. That means just they see. Then what they may think? They say that, I think the bigger green ball is chlorine and the smaller ball, blue ball is sodium. What makes them to think like this? Can anybody tell me? Why bigger ball is chlorine, smaller ball is sodium?
By
According,
observing the size, madam.
according to Fajan rules, madam, the
Okay.
anion is very bigger atom, smaller
Okay.
atom is cation, madam.
Yes, because of the mass. They know, just they have the idea of mass, sodium and chlorine mass. That's what they may be guessing, because they don't know what is green, what is just. I have given a hint that it may be sodium chloride crystal. Then with that knowledge, they are thinking. Okay. Then wonder. Okay, what they may wonder about the picture. They may be thinking, why are there so many atoms or balls? Why is each sodium is surrounded by 4 chlorine? Actually, it is not 4 chlorine, but we are not going into the chemistry. That's what the children are thinking. They are wondering why it is surrounded by 4 chlorine atoms. Why is there so much empty space in the picture while solids have least interparticle space? That means this they may understand after understanding about the voids and all, but this is their wonder, because we have heard that when particles have the closed structure, there will be very least intermolecular space, but why they have so much space in between? This is the wonder. Are you understanding? Dear friends?
Yes,
Yes,
we are
yes,
following.
madam.
Yes.
Yes,
Do you
we are
think?
following.
Do you think is it going to be feasible in the class? It may be for any subject. It may be for any subject. Okay. Then the next strategy is zoom in strategy. So here a bit by bit picture is disclosed to students. Then they will be asked, what do they observe or notice? Then we can reveal more of the image. Then again, we may ask what might be going on in their minds. Like that, bit by bit, we will disclose the picture, and learning, building up of the things happen in the mind. Okay, learning evolves. So this is the strategy which will make the children to think bit by bit. So just I will show you some picture. Can you tell me what is this picture about?
Looks like giving us some grains to somebody.
process.
Yes, exactly. Somebody is telling, a lady is offering some grains to somebody. Okay. If I enlarge this,
She is throwing the dust. It looks like that.
yeah. She might be throwing the dust. It is looking like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Second picture.
Or grains they will do now. What we will say.
Separation
Yeah.
of grains from chaff.
Yes. This process we call as
Winnowing.
Now it is
Winnowing process.
when I see first picture, the mode of thinking in the mind is different. When it is enlarged, then thinking is becoming different. Then third picture, it is giving different meaning. So
winnowing first.
yes, in this way, we can develop the thinking process. I said no in my objective to develop a thinking routine. So like this, we can develop the thinking process of students. Then I'll go to the next strategy, that is compass point thinking routines. Dear teachers, please. Okay. So only two more strategies are left. Within 5 minutes, I'll complete. So compass point thinking routine. Here, compass, if I say, what do we get in the mind? 4 directions.
Four directions.
South, west, and east. That means if these 4 directions are covered, then everything is covered around us. So that means why are we using this strategy in learning, teaching, learning processes? We can think in all the different possible lines. So here N refers to what is the need for knowing about that picture or any subject or anything. If any topic is given. So for example, social media. In the last week, I had given for students to generally just think. Okay, in the center, I will keep social media. You think in a different 4 lines. One is, what is the need for social media, or what do we know more about, what is needed to know more about social media? Then what excites me about the social media? That is E. Then S refers to if a social media is being used for a longer time, okay, what will be the impact? So suggestion. Okay. Then W refers to the worries. Okay. What are the worries if a social media is being used continuously? Okay. I'll repeat. What is the need for that? What excites me? Then what are the worries? To overcome these worries, what are the suggestions? Is it clear? So these are the some of the examples that we have conducted in the school. Here you can see about the social media. I have given the topic energy. So why do we need energy? What is the need for knowing more about the energy? Then what excites me if I think about the energy? What are the worries behind that? If I take electrical energy, we may get shock, or like this, children may start thinking. So if that is the case, what is your stance or step or suggestion to overcome that? Okay, in the same way, I have given for some children about the board exam. You think in all the 4 lines. Okay. So like this, it can be used for generalized thinking or particular subject also. So last but not the least, this is chalk talk method. So this is an opportunity to have a conversation in writing. Okay. See, in the class, if we give some topic, every child has their own thought. But we have some children, they may be shy, they may not open up easily, but they have the thought, but they will not share. Such children also we have to make them to think. So in such cases, we can use this strategy, that is chalk talk strategy. That means I will give a topic. For example, it may be general topic, it may be based on language or any subject. For example, if I give school election, recently we had school elections. I asked a question about that and write about what you feel. So children silently, they will come and write their opinion. If anybody's opinion already written is matching with them, they will connect that with their, if they don't agree with that, they can also write some suggestion to that. So discussion will happen in a silent mode, so that it's very easy to manage the classroom. At the same time, it's a very wonderful method to motivate every child to get into the thought process. So by this, we will end up our webinar. I hope you all have understood, or you will agree with me. If any suggestions for me to enhance my thinking, you are most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ambika ma'am.
Thank you, madam.
That was wonderful, and it was great brainstorming for all of us.
Yeah.
Yes, dear participants, if you have any query or any suggestion, or if at all any slide if you like most, you can speak about it.
Thank you, ma'am. Nice session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I expect your suggestion in the form of the WWW and ABI, what went well, and even better if it could be better if I would have added this one or anything like that. That is most welcome, so that I can learn something.
Yeah, Ambika madam, it was a very good session.
Yeah, thank you,
Making
ma'am.
learning visible, topic itself brought some curiosity to know more about it. Knowingly or unknowingly, we do this in our class.
Yes, yes.
But
Exactly.
in a structured way, through your session, we got a structured way of how thinking can be made visible. It was a good session, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, Manisha, madam. Soma, madam.
Ambika ma'am, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Very interactive and informative session, ma'am. Very good.
Thank you. Thank you. Any suggestion, ma'am?
No, ma'am, it is very good.
Thank you.
मैम बहुत अच्छा था, लेकिन साइंस के उदाहरण आपने दिए, लेकिन हम हिंदी वालों के लिए भी एक दो उदाहरण भेज देना कि हम क्या करें। लेकिन ये है कि देखने से बच्चा ज्यादा याद रखता है, ये सब हम लोगों को अच्छा लगा। और वो कैरी और जामुन ही है, जामुन थोड़े भूल के पकड़ घुसा के देते हैं, वो से धुल के थोड़े से जामुन फीके पड़ गए हैं, लेकिन है वो कैरी और जामुन ही। हमें सोडियम वोडियम कुछ नहीं पता है, लेकिन वो हमारे लिए तो वही है। और जब पक जाएंगे तब हम खा भी लेंगे।
Yes, ma'am, you are exactly right, because you said you should have taken other examples, but you made my science example as a very interesting.
साइंस के ये सोडियम ऐसा, क्लोराइड ऐसा कभी नहीं देखा हमने, तो हमें बंदर क्या जाने अदरक का स्वाद। बंदर तो जामुन और आम ही खाता है।
Yeah, this is what children think, because that is called integrated learning. हिंदी भी और स्वाद ये भी हम लोग केमिस्ट्री से जुड़ा है। Yeah, that's good, ma'am. That's good. Thank you. You really made our discussion more interesting. Yeah, thank you.
Hello, Ambika ma'am. This is Pushpa here.
Yeah, ma'am. Pushpa, madam, please.
Ma'am, it was really a wonderful session.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
I enjoyed it. But one thing I thought, like, if this PPT would have been shared, this would really be helpful.
Sure, ma'am. Sure. I will share. And it is recorded as it is YouTube link. It will be there, ma'am. We will share this, ma'am. We will share this.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Ambika madam, I am from JVM Vijayanagar.
Yes, sir. Nagraj, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That farmer example, it is a very nice, madam.
Yeah, we know.
It is like we should understand the children how they behave, but what we think about children should be true. For we can decide, we can judge immediately, madam, because it is a very good example. Should be think and सोचने के बाद में decide करना चाहिए, madam. Suddenly we can't say what we see. It is a good example for remembering every time, madam. Thank you for that given example.
You are also right, sir, because देखते ही हमको कुछ अलग लगता है, but when we get into that, it will be something different. So we can guide children. When we see the question paper, they will read in hurry and they will answer something. Okay, so it should not be. First, we have to observe carefully all the details. Then we have to answer. That is also the information that may give, sir.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Nisha, madam. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, madam.
From
yeah, session was very nice, madam. We came to know about directions and about the news we used to hear. This time about the social media also we heard, madam. It was a new innovative way of telling us about this. Right, madam?
Yeah, that's what I took different examples. It is not only core subjects. Even we can make students to think and know about the things what are they are aware about in their near vicinity, that also they can start thinking in a different way.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Session was nice.
Thank you.
Yes, teachers, if you don't have any query, questions, suggestions, shall we stop the meeting? Ambika ma'am, shall we stop?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, if